All right, everybody, welcome back to IntyCenter 1957. First set of games after the trade deadline. At the end of these games, we'll have just 39 games left in the regular season. We're getting into crunch time, and we're going to start with a game that was almost a mirror. J.R. Richard and John Clarkson, they each gave up 7 hits. Richard's 7 hits turned into just 1 run for Game of Throws, while Clarkson's turned into 2 runs for Every City Bandwagoners. A Juan Soto solo homer is the difference in the game. Richard wins the duel, and the Bandwagoners win the game 2-1. Steve Carlton was his Steve self. He tossed a 7-hit shutout as Let's Play 2 took down Giz of November 3-0. Eddie Matthews had 3 hits, including 2 doubles. A pinch hit RBI single from Shohei Ohtani tied the game at 6, and a ground out from Minnie Minoso put the Amazings up on Zodiac Guardians 7-6 heading into the bottom of the 9th. But Derek Jeter doubled home Ricky Henderson to tie the game, and Albert Pujols singles 2 batters later to score Jeter and walk it off. That's an 8-7 win for the Guardians. Satchel Paige records a Maddox. He gets a 3-hit shutout on 99 pitches as the Demonbags take down the Family Madrigal 9-0 to open their series. That's right. The Demonbags scored 9 runs in a single game. A second game between the Zodiac Guardians and Amazings had plenty of late drama once again. Joe Morgan hit a 3-run homer in the top of the 8th to put Amazings on top 4-3, only for Jose Altuve to hit a 2-run double in the bottom of the inning to score Ricky Henderson and tie it at 4. We'd head to extra innings in the 10th. Amazings would get a sac fly from Turkey Stearns to score a 1-run. An RBI single from Biz Mackey to score another. Edwin Diaz would play the trumpet and come on and work a 1-2-3 bottom of the 10th. And AMZ Amazings gets that win. Toad Ramsey and Bobby Matthews put up goose eggs through 7. Julio Rodriguez got a 1-out homer in the 8th to open the scoring, and Heavy Johnson added a 2-out RBI single to put the Pilots up 2-0. Rico Cardi got one in for a shack of their own in the 9th on a sac fly, but the pinch-hitting Troy Tulowitzki grounded out to short to end the game, and the year of the Toad marches on as the Pilots sweep a shack of their own on the road. Greg Maddux, he gave up a first-inning solo homer to Ron Santo, but pretty much nothing else. He goes the distance. He gives up that 1 run on 6 hits, and Let's Play 2 takes it over the Gales of November 3-1. We'll switch up our dance partners, and we'll start second set of games with Old Hoss Radbourne being absolutely phenomenal in the opener against Let's Play 2. He tossed a complete game shutout. He gave up 6 hits. He struck out 5. Chuck Klein had a 2-run single in the first. Those were actually the only runs of the game. The Enhancers win that one 2-0. Apparently, the Zodiac Guardians just can't stop playing dramatic baseball. We posted this screenshot in the thread. Lou Boudreau had a run-scoring double with 2 outs in the 8th to put the Family Madrigal up 2-1 before he was thrown out at third trying to advance. Pete Rose hit an RBI single in the 9th, and that tied it at 2. We were off to extra innings and lots of them. We'd go all the way to the top of the 16th where Marcus Semien hits a 2-out RBI single to put the Guardians ahead 3-2. Clayton Kershaw retires the side in order. And finally, the Zodiac Guardians win that one in 16 innings. Tim Lincecum, he absolutely dominated Sithy, tossing a freak of a 7-hit shutout. Heavy Johnson had 2 hits and drove in 2 runs. Stone Temple Seattle Pilots win that one 3-0. Elsewhere that same day, Dutch Leonard was 1 batter away from finishing his gem. Alas, he had to settle for 8 2/3 innings, no runs allowed, and a win. After Leonard walked Albert Bell, he was replaced by Mark Pryor. Pryor walked Babe Ruth to put the tying run on base, but retired the pinch-hitting Buck Leonard to get the save. Jeff Bagwell has an RBI single and an RBI double. The only 2 runs, the D-Bags win it 2-0. J.R. Richard, he spun an absolute beauty in the finale against a shack of their own. He gave up 1 run on 2 hits. This one saw all the runs scored in either the 8th or the 9th inning. A Yogi Berra 2-run single led Every City Bandwagoners to that 5-1 win. And we'll start with some kind of amazing news. It's a story about offense for the Demonbags. They scored 9 earlier in the recap, and here Joe Torre has 3 hits and 5 runs batted in. I believe both of those are more than Demonbags catchers had the rest of the season combined before they signed Torre. I don't know. Fact check me on this, but again, it's 1957, so fact checkers don't exist. Checkmate, atheist. Anyways, those 5 ribbies from Torre, that's enough to back Sandy Koufax. The Demonbags win that on getaway day 5-3. And that's going to be how we end IntyCenter. It's going to be our getaway story. We'll catch you next time for more musing about how we missed John Montgomery Ward and another whip around. Fidus.